Hi everyone, my name is Ramana Reddy and I am a lawyer from Hyderabad. I practice here in the high courts and in various other courts. Today I wanted to talk to you about two problems that I have faced with interim orders passed by the High Court. And so before I get to the problems, well, what are interim orders? Interim orders are basically orders that are passed, when the case is happening. So to give you an example, let's take a tax matter, right? Let's say you pay 5 rupees as tax, and the government issues a show cause notice and passes an order against you, and it says you should pay 11 rupees of tax. So then you go to court and say, look, I only have to pay 5, not 11. And so once you file your case and it is heard for the first time, you try to persuade the judge that I have a good case on merits, and you protect me against this order at least until the case is done. So you say, I have already paid 5, they're asking for 11, so the dispute is 6 rupees. So let them not collect 6 rupees till the case is pending. That's the argument that you would make. And the court may say, okay, I think you have a good prima facie case, and I'm going to pass an interim order in your favor. So so 6 rupees you don't have to pay till the case is over. And this could work to your advantage because, well, because cases can go on for a very long time. So this protection can extend for years and years together. We've seen cases where an interim order is enforced for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, or even longer. So basically 6 rupees stays in your hands, for that much amount of time. Especially in a tax matter, the other advantage with filing a writ petition is that you don't have to pay a pre-deposit. So if you had filed an appeal as opposed to a writ petition in the High Court, if you had filed an appeal, then say if you had to challenge the 6 rupees, then you would have to pay say 10%, so it's say 60 paisa. You would have to pay upfront as a pre-deposit, even to get the appeal numbered. But in a writ petition, if you come to the High Court, you don't have to do that. So assessees or taxpayers generally like to at least try to move the High Court because they can avoid that 60 paisa pre-deposit before, or if you file an appeal. Now 60 paisa may look very little in the context of 6 rupees, but let's say you're facing a tax liability of 1 crore and you have to pay 10 lakhs as the pre-deposit, then you will think, I wish I'd gone to the High Court. So let's say you make out a case, you go before the High Court, you make out a case, and you actually do get an interim order, right? So that is the scenario that I'm talking about today. So you are successful in getting an interim order. We're all happy. As a lawyer, I come and tell you, look, congratulations, you have an interim order in your favor. Now, in my experience, I've encountered two problems, even after you get the interim order. So the first problem that I've seen is, so the way most high courts work in the country is judges, so Judge A may hear your case in the first instance. So I will appear before Judge A and make out a case, and he may be convinced. Then what happens is there's always a change in the roster. So that means every 2 or 3 months, the judge holding the tax bench may change. So what happens is, if there is so once there is a change in the roster, so Judge A gives me an interim order. Then Judge B comes on the tax bench, and Judge B says, look, I know Judge A gave you the interim order. I mean, he will not put it like that, but he's going to look at the interim order, and he's going to say, I am not convinced that in this case that you deserve an interim order. In this case, I think you should pay 6 rupees now, and if you win the case, well, the department will refund the money back to you. So I am not entirely convinced that you should actually have the interim order. So the disadvantage is you may get an interim order on day 1. 2 months later, when you're happy and you're going about, your daily life, thinking, okay, I have an interim order. That may change because, I appear before Judge B, and Judge B may say, I don't think that you deserve an interim order because the facts are not in your favor, the law is not in your favor. So therefore, I'm going to take away that protection, and you pay 6 rupees within the next 4 weeks, within the next 6 weeks or whatever. And you were taken by surprise, and that has happened to me. So, that's something that I've had to face, and I've had to go back to the client and tell him, look, you have to pay now. So that is the first disadvantage, that things are very fluid in the High Court. Things may change. It's not like you get an interim order and you get that for life. The other disadvantage is again related in that, let's say you get an interim order. So Judge A, I appear before Judge A on the first date of hearing, and I get an interim order and the judge may say, okay, interim order is valid for a period of 8 weeks. So basically, that 6 rupees protection, the department cannot collect from you for 8 weeks. Now, let's say on the 7th week or on the 8th week, the judge refuses to extend your interim order. He may say, the judge may change and he may say, I don't believe in interim order, and I'm going to hear you finally. And the matter may not reach. Or, because the interim order is given is a time-bound thing and it could expire. And, at least technically speaking, I guess the department could initiate recovery proceedings against you. So, once interim orders are given in a time-bound manner, even that could pose problems that, it's not like, so I think the point I'm trying to get at is, it's not as though you get an interim order and you think, okay, I'm set. At least in the High Court. It's not like you think I have an interim order, so until the case is disposed for the next 20 years, I don't have to worry about it. That is not the case. That's not how it works. But you contrast this situation with an appeal, like I said. So let's say you have a liability of 1 crore, pre-deposit of 10 lakhs, you pay 10 lakhs. The advantage with that is you have protection till the appeal is disposed of. So till the appeal is disposed of, nobody, the department will not come after you because you have paid the pre-deposit, and at least, so take the GST regime. Under the GST regime, once you pay 10 lakhs, you have an automatic stay for the balance 90 lakhs that is demanded from you. So it is, as a lawyer, I will tell you that it is it is good to try to, it's a good thing to make out a case for you to approach the High Court. And because you don't have to pay the pre-deposit, and you approach, the High Court, it's a constitutional court, and those decisions have a lot of value. So you must always try to make out a case in a writ court or before the High Court. But keep in mind that if you do get an interim order, things can get fluid pretty quickly. So don't think that, okay, I have an interim order from the High Court and therefore I am safe till the case is disposed of. That may be the case. You may be safe. But there are possibilities, and I've experienced like these two situations personally, in my career, where you get an interim order and they say, either the bench changes and the next judge is not convinced and your interim order is taken away, or either the interim order is given for a limited period and the judge refuses to extend that interim order for the period. So those are two interim order, or those are two situations where an interim order would not, protect you the way you would think, and it could surprise you. So I hope you got something out of that. Thank you for watching.